Greetings and welcome back to the No Channel. This is Bernadette Johnson. I'm also known as Keziah or Kizzy. And today I'm coming back to you with another book commentary. And this time I will be discussing the book Reversing Sale, A History of the African Diaspora by Michael A. Gomez. Reversing Sale is a highly intriguing read which takes the reader on a long journey. And unlike the most reads concerning the history of the African diaspora, Gomez, he explores the history of the so-called Africans thousands of years before the transatlantic slave trade. It starts with the powerful black kingdoms of Egypt, Ethiopia, and Nubia, and it even talks about the African presence in the Bible, and in particular the African location of the Garden of Eden and the Queen of Sheba and the Hamitic curse and the numerous instances where men in the Bible married women of Hamitic stock. And speaking of which, the author makes mention of Beta Israel, the community of Ethiopian Jews, whom many claim are the descendants of the Israelite king Solomon and the Hamite queen of Sheba. Gomez, he also takes us next to the world of Islam and the African presence in it, suggesting that the Arabs and Bedouins were originally black-skinned people, which evidence show that the original Arabs were black. And he even discusses the African slave trade and experience in the Islamic world. The reader will see how slavery in Islam compares and contrasts to the slavery in the Americas. There are many books and documentaries and resources on slavery in the Americas, but there's not as much on slavery, the enslavement of Africans in the Islamic world, the Arab world. And unsurprisingly, the author includes the transatlantic slave trade and the slave experience in the New World. He expounds upon the horrific conditions of the Middle Passage and the grueling labor on enormous plantations. This work, it doesn't only concentrate on the slave experience in North America, but also he just doesn't concentrate on the slave experience in North America, but also in South and Central America and the surrounding islands of the Caribbean. And also, there's a lot of books and documentaries on slavery in North America, but not as much in the south of slavery, about slavery in South and Central America, and also the Caribbean. And the book goes into various slave rebellions, that most notably the slave rebellion in Haiti, led by Toussaint Louverture. And this rebellion, it resulted in the freedom of the slaves in Haiti, which, a lot of us know about. And then the reader is then taken into the post-slavery era of the African diaspora following the American Civil War and the gains made during Reconstruction. Most of these gains were soon lost after the withdrawal of the federal troops from the American South and the ushering in of the Jim Crow. That's when the Jim Crow got ushered in, after, the Reconstruction era ended. And you can read up on that, how it ended. And it also shows the great struggle of the African diaspora faced in other parts of the Americas in their quest to find a place for themselves in the world that long held them as slaves and not citizens. And the book concludes with highlighting the so-called African diaspora's profound influence and contributions in the entertainment world, such as music, dance, and sports. And if you listen to my other book commentary on Black labor wealth, I mentioned about how Blacks dominate the music and the sports entertainment world as far as performers and entertainers go and players go, but not so much as the money. And although Gomez mentions Beta Israel and the African presence in the Bible, he doesn't recognize the African diaspora as Israelites, and makes reference to sources that claim all Black people are descendants of Ham, and non-Blacks descendants of Shem and Japheth. Therefore, he appears to deem the Israelites as non-Black and uses Beta Israel, the Queen of Sheba, etc., as a way to connect Africa to the Bible. But if you do your research, you will know that the Bible is actually an African book. It's not like just this Better Israel and Queen of Sheba just a way to connect. No, 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 no. The Bible itself is an African book. But of course, this is a all too familiar stance that most of us took, before a lot of us came into the knowledge of our true history and ancestry. We took the same stance as Michael Gomez, and we would seize on any biblical reference to Black people to help validate our worth as a people and to assure ourselves that God loved us too. I remember doing that. Anything that was appear to a reference, a person of African descent in the Bible, yeah, I would, seize upon that. But Gomez, he doesn't realize or acknowledge that the Bible is about Black people, period, like I just said. So we don't have to find a place for us in it because it's our book. It's our book. But, nevertheless, it was an interesting read and, very informative read because, in it, the experience of the Israelites, aka African diaspora, is seen through a wider scope and not just the experience in the United States. So I would encourage you to find, if you can find it on Amazon. It should be available. Yes, it should be available on Amazon, or you can check your local library to see if they have it, or if they don't, you can see if you can borrow it from another library. So once again, it's the book Reverse and Sail, A History of the African Diaspora by Michael A. Gomez. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, be blessed.